Hey guys, it's Shadow here of HDVoltageGaming, and we're back for another Battlefield video. First off, I'd just like to say, it's been great that you guys have been patient with us while there's been a shortage of videos. I thought I'd come back and start up my series of Battlefield guides as my sort of returning video. This is just a sort of gameplay I was playing using the Scar H with foregrip, silencer, and of course thermal scope, as you can quite clearly see. You might be thinking, seeing as I'm basing my guides off people who have just picked up Battlefield for the first time, and probably most likely going to be Call of Duty players, the thermal scope is a very, very good attachment, whereas in Call of Duty it's normally pretty crap. But anyway, let's stop talking about Call of Duty for now. But we will be probably relating back to it. Anyway, the first class we're going to be covering is the Engineer class, my favourite class overall, and the one in my videos you're probably going to see me using the most, because I like the wide variety of things you can do with it. The first thing we're going to go with the Engineer class is the basics of it, and then we're going to move on to maybe some more sort of strategic things you can do with it. The first thing, of course, is the equipment you get. As a default, you get a rocket launcher, depending, it might be the small or it might be the RPG, depending on what map you are playing on. But normally it's an unguided, sort of, more for ground use against sort of tanks and the armoured vehicles, so and the AA guns, the AA tanks, of course. Later on you can collect lock-on, aircraft lock-on ones. I'm recently unlocking the just overall vehicle lock-on, which both locks onto aerial and vehicle. Something that is very useful in this game, being able to lock onto both air and land. I'm fairly close to it. I've got my Xbox just loaded up in the background, hoping no one can hear it. I'm just going over some Call of Duty videos. Anyway, so you collect a rocket launcher as your sort of main ability for taking out vehicles, of course, but there are many different things you can do with a rocket launcher. You can open up different sort of holes in buildings, because of course all buildings are destructible in this game, so blowing up a hole into, if you're playing Rush, getting to an MCOM station can open up a wide variety of flank routes for your team. But that's the gist of the rocket launcher. Moving on to the next sort of set of equipment you can have is the repair tool, which of course does what it says. You can repair vehicles, you can disable enemy vehicles and repair them for your own use, which is a very useful thing. But you can also destroy vehicles with the rocket launcher, which is you also get bonus points for that. But I think it's better if you steal them. I think you can get a few extra bonuses for that. That's the gist of the repair tool. You can hurt people with it, but the range is about a centimetre, so I wouldn't recommend it. Might be good for some funny moments, but I very much doubt that. You'll never see me trying to run up someone and repair tool them in the face. Anyway, moving on, the next set of equipment you can get is the mines. The mines are purely for land vehicle. You can't, humans and other players, players won't set them off just by standing on them. It's only sort of vehicles. No, they don't work on air vehicles, which is completely obvious. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, so that's basically it. There's not much you can do with them. Pretty good for defending MCOM stations if the enemy team are majorly using land vehicles. Basically, because using air vehicles in this game is pretty pointless unless you're high level, because they're completely useless otherwise. Anyway, as I was saying, the next thing you get is the EOD bot, which is a sort of small UGV unmanned ground vehicle, which you can use to disable and set the charges on MCOM stations. Very useful in Rush if you want to quickly set a charge without ever having to put yourself in any danger at all. Of course, I don't think it can shoot. I don't know. I don't use it very often. It's pretty crappy. But of course, I don't know. That's just my opinion on it. You could use anything. Anyway, this match right here is on Operation Metro, the same stage from the beta. I didn't have any beta videos to put up. I really wanted to make sure I was actually getting the game before I put any content on, just so you guys know. But now we're definitely putting up content. Anyway, so that's the gist of the engineer kit. There's quite a lot of things you can do, but I'm gonna move on from the specific equipment to the sort of specific guns. Of course, there are the guns in Battlefield which you can be used on all kits, which are sort of stuff like the 870 MC shotgun. I think the UMP-45 is also one of these. Guns like that can be used on any kit and are sort of used for a wide variety of things. They're normally quite average guns and not really to be used too often. Anyway, right now I'm switching over to the recon kit just for some extra defense. As you can see there was the 870. Oh, there's also the PP2000. Which is counted as a primary gun, unlike in Call of Duty where it is counted as a machine pistol in both Modern Warfare 2 and... oh, it's not Modern Warfare 3. Lol. Anyway, so the guns in the engineer class mainly consist of the assault rifles. I think there's a few submachine guns in there. Nothing too different about them, unlike the recon class, which are majorly sniper rifles, as you saw there. Anyway, in the engineer class, probably the best gun and probably the most used gun in the engineer class is the G36C, which is in Modern Warfare 3 as well, so that gun should seem familiar to you. But until you get that, using the Scar H or the A91 are a good choice. Picking up the default class for it is quite good. The default class of the engineering class is very good, actually. Now I think about it, you get given a pretty late gun. It's actually the gun after the Scar H. But I don't feel it's better than the Scar H. I think the Scar H is much better. Because there's such a long time in between them. Your Scar H just becomes, with all the new attachments you get, it just becomes so much better than picking up an M4 and using that when you've had that since like the beginning. Anyway, moving on from that. A good setup I would say to use is definitely a silencer and a thermal scope. The thermal scope sort of increases the range where the silencer sort of, what am I trying to say here? It increases the range that would have been lost with the silencer. That's what I'm trying to say. Also, using a foregrip is always good. I wouldn't recommend the bipod unless you're using a sniper rifle from a defensive position. But even then, I would recommend the foregrip because of the easy mobility you get with it, rather than having to lie down in order to use the bipod. So this is the gun that's covered in the engineer class. They're very useful. The pistols are of course used in all classes. I don't really need to discuss them, probably go over them in all the other sort of classes later. So you can see me pulling out a pistol right now. Pistols are quite good to use in Battlefield, despite most of the time pistols not being that good. Apart from that pistol right there, freaking tactical light. I hate tactical light, and I'm probably sure everyone else does. Anyway, so that's basically it for the engineering class. I would highly recommend it if you're definitely a new COD player. I mean, if you're a COD player coming into Battlefield, it's very easy to pick up and sort of know what you got to do, whereas other classes such as the recon class, you can't really pick them up too early and do a lot with them. It's mainly sort of providing sniper rifle cover, and I think video was just paused. What's going on? Oh well. Sorry, I don't know what happened here. My video just all cut out. Anyway, as I was saying, the engineer class is very easy to pick up. You know exactly what to do with it because you're given a rocket launcher. You see your vehicle, boom, you just shoot it and it's gone. You're given as a repair tool as your default equipment to use for that. Very easy to use, I would have to say. Of course, don't try going stabbing people with it. Not a smart idea. Anyway, I think I'm just going to leave the rest of the video just for you guys to watch. I haven't been doing too well right now in the morning. In the morning? I did play this in the morning. Right at the beginning, but then once we move into the tunnels, you'll see a very good strategy, which maybe I'll pick up the commentary back up then, and show you where, if you're the defense team, you can easily set up the best spawn lock in the game, and I think I rack up like 14 kills from it. Very good. Anyway, here we go, moving into the tunnel. I don't know if I'll cover this. But, right here, basically, I'll say just before we go, you run up to just before they come in, and there's a doorway, and then there's also a sort of position where they can drop down from. It's really close. Just here it is, right here. Actually, I'll keep going. Right here, you go past this bit right here, and there they are. Everyone sort of just jumps out of there constantly, and it just sets up a perfect spawn lock. There's the third guy. And really, Operation Metro using the spawn lock is, I wouldn't say it's unfair, it's perfectly normal. If the team sort of spent the time to flank around, they wouldn't have been trapped so easily. See, I'm pulling out my RPG. See, there it is. They all drop down from here. There's also a ladder, but I wouldn't recommend going up there because it actually disables the spawn lock, and then they start spawning even further back, which you'd think would be good, but it's not. Having them in a spawn lock, constantly being just bombarded with bullets. Look, they can also, two people came out here. A bit further back, they can do that, but I wouldn't recommend them doing it, because we can shoot rockets down there if you're the engineer class, which is a very useful trait. Unlike the recon class, which would... Actually, no, the recon class would be pretty decent in this position, just shooting down the hallway. You'd probably want to go back, further back, but I think that's it for this video. I'm going to leave the video to just play. There's about another 8 minutes left of this. It's purely just spawn locking action with some decent moments in it. I think I do rack up a few triple kills and double kills or whatever. Not too sure, I did this about a month ago or whatever. Anyway, in the next Enter the Battlefield series video, I will be covering the recon class. Probably my second favourite class to use in the game. So I think I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.
much.